Hello, people. Welcome back to another video by your good friend, Chad Marco. Make sure you guys smash that like button. And let's have a conversation. Every now and then when I make a video, I might shield myself on 4chan, like R9K or something like that. And sometimes because I'm obviously a black guy, somebody might say something like racist, right? Like they'll post something racist, like, oh, this N-word, or haha, look at this monkey, or something like that. And I'll look at it and I'll be like, oh yeah. Right. And it happened predictably today when I did the same thing. And when I saw it, it made me think back to the times I've been asked. And I've been asked at different times, like either when I was anonymous or as Chad Marco. Somebody would ask me, how do you feel about the racism on 4chan? How do you deal with that? There's so much racism and sexism, and it's just a lot of hate, right? And I would say, part of it is just that being a regular on 4chan for all these years, it really does give you thick skin, right? When it comes to the things that people say. Because I remember when I first came to 4chan, that was part of the appeal, was seeing everyone just make these jokes. Like it was my first exposure to stuff like 9/11 jokes and shit like that, and racist jokes, like mean-spirited racist jokes, not like Comedy Central, oh, black people are like this and white people are like this jokes, but real, really like mean-spirited stuff. And honestly, I thought it was kind of funny and refreshing, because again, it was all very new to me. And obviously, just to be on 4chan, you gotta have thick skin. You can't get your jimmies rustled every time somebody says something offensive. You gotta have an eye for identifying trolls and people just trying to get a reaction. And so it trains you to not get so bent out of shape about stuff like that. Like the things that are said on 4chan would be grounds for being instantly banned on a place like Reddit, and it's kind of funny because it's hard for me to post on Reddit because I'll say things, and you guys know I'm not someone to go around like blatantly trolling and shit like that, but I've noticed on like posting on Reddit, I can get banned just saying something that I really don't even think is offensive. Right? So it's very different, but that's just part of it. But the other half is that the fact is, most of the people who are saying stuff like that, they would never say that in real life. They would never go around in real life saying those things. And that's big. That's big to me because it says a lot about who you are as a person, whether or not you stand on what you believe in, not just behind closed doors, but publicly. You can say what you want about me. Obviously, I'm far from perfect. I'm far from the example of what a man should be in every way. I have my strengths, I have my weaknesses. But one thing that I can say about myself that I'm proud of is that everything that I believe in, I put my face to it. When you look at my videos where I express myself and I give my opinion and I give my view, that's me. That's Chad Marco. That's Emmanuel, right? That's me. And when I speak to people, most of my online accounts is Chad Marco, right? I don't have a lot of accounts where I'm not like repping the Chad Marco brand, because why not? I stand on what the fuck I say. I stand on what I'm talking about. And that's something that I'm very proud of. And the thing is, a lot of the people on 4chan, they say the things that they do not because they believe in it to the point where they would actually say it in real life. They feel comfortable saying those things because they're hiding behind a fake name. They're hiding behind being anonymous. They're hiding behind anime avatars and shit like that. And so it's like, Why should I care? Just think about it. Why should I care about the opinion or the perspective of someone who's expressing themselves and expressing something that they wouldn't even tell their mother? They're expressing something they wouldn't tell their friends, their family, their lovers, their co-workers. They wouldn't tell the police. They wouldn't tell their community. They wouldn't stand up and put a face to what they're talking about. These guys who I see on 4chan talking so much shit, and not just about like the racist stuff, right? Even the misogyny. Like, you know, I always say this. I'm not one of those guys that's like down with feminism and women go back to the kitchen. Why not? Because are you gonna say that in real life? It sounds cool on 4chan when these guys are like, women need to be like, take their voting rights away and force them back into the kitchen. You know, state mandated girlfriends, and you know, you need to be a wife and all. Like, that sounds cool on 4chan when you're talking this extreme, like patriarchal society fantasy stuff. But would you stand on that in real life? Right? Would you put your face to those words? Would you put your face to that belief? Most of these guys wouldn't. They're talking fantasy. They're talking shit that they wish would happen, right? They're not expressing a belief that they have a conviction of. It's just something that's edgy, right? It's them venting their emotional frustrations with things that they see. But they're too much of a coward, or really haven't even processed what the hell they're talking about and internalize it to the point where they would say it in real life. So I have no reason to even be bothered by people like that, because they'll say all this N-word, this monkey, that online, and then see me in real life and put their head down. You know, you ever see, it's that, you know, it's kind of a joke, but that white people smile when they did that fake smile, they'll look at me and do that after saying all this race. They wouldn't say none of that. And it's not even me thinking I'm a tough guy or I'm intimidating. That's just what it is. That's just the truth. They wouldn't say it to a black child. They're just saying it because they're on the internet. And they're anonymous, and they got their little anime avatar, you know, right? And so why should I feel bothered by somebody that is talking about shit that they don't stand on? You can disagree with me about any of the stuff that I say, but I put my face to it. I made that video why I'm pro porn, right? That was controversial, right? But look, you see my mug on that thumbnail, like, yeah, nigga, this is what I think. Fuck you. Not like that, but still, you know, I put a face to everything that I say. And that means something, because on the internet, it's so easy to just fake name, avatar, and then people get lost in this new identity, you know. That's part of the reason why I put my name on everything, is because I have to be held accountable for what I say, because I have family and friends and people that I know that check out my channel every now and then. Every now and then I run into somebody who mentions something about the channel, and it's kind of embarrassing sometimes, right? But look, it is what it is. I stand on that shit. And it kind of reminds me of one time. I remember there was this one guy, and we were kind of having a discussion about hitting women, and he was trying to argue in favor of like beating women and how guys can get away with it, right? And I just remember it's so stupid, because it's like this guy was sitting here just talking all this shit about how it's okay to hit women and all this, but I'm sitting here thinking, like, would he tell his mom the shit he telling me? Would he sit down with his mom and explain to her in detail, his mom, his sister, his grandma, his father, and have that same energy? Would he have had that same energy talking to his family, telling them, yeah, I think it's okay to beat women, right? As long as you can get away with it, right? Just goofy, bro. I swear, like, again, you can think what you want about me and what I believe, but it's nothing worse than a motherfucker that only gonna have a certain type of energy or belief in a certain situation, especially when you don't have to be held accountable for it. Especially then. And so when I see the racism and I see the sexism and the homophobia and all that shit on 4chan, it don't bother me because these motherfuckers, they just talking shit that they would never ever stand on in real life. That's nothing to respect. That's nothing to fear. That's nothing to even take into consideration. Show me the guy that'll actually talk that shit. Show me a motherfucker from the pole board that'll actually talk that shit in real life. All that shit you talk about the Jews and the blacks and this. Show me the guy that'll stand up in his community where the people he worked with, the people he went to school with, his family, his friends can see him for who he really is. Show me that guy that'll do that. And then I'll applaud him. I'll be impressed. But until that day, I'm not impressed by this shit, right? It's really just, it's cretin behavior. It's troll behavior. It's juvenile. Like, I see guys still whipping out the watermelon and chicken jokes. Like, that shit was funny, barely funny 15 years ago. It's sad when I see that shit. It's juvenile, bro. Damn. And it's one thing to not say it, but there's another thing to not even stand on it, bro. That's what really makes it bad. You don't even stand by what the fuck you saying. You don't even stand by what you believe. But you got the nerve to talk that shit because you comfortable online. I can't, again, why? You played yourself. Damn it. But that's basically how I feel in a nutshell, man. I think, I love the internet and I love how it gives people, I think there is value to, don't get me wrong, to be anonymous online. But I think that it's more of a way for people to express themselves and say things that they might get in trouble for saying in real life, or they might not be ready to express that in real life. They might not ever be ready to say that. And sometimes people just want the privacy to, have certain discussions with other people without, again, that's fine. But I operate on a different level, right? Where I'm not just, saying shit behind closed doors and not I'm at the point now where just like, look, it is what it is. This is what I believe. This is what I stand on. If you're not communicating with me on that level, then I can barely take you seriously. Because you can say anything behind a goddamn anime avatar. You can be whoever you want to be. But again, I'm held accountable here. Everything I say in one video, somebody can take an older video and say, but wait, Chad, you said this, right? Somebody, and so I have to be consistent. I have to, right? And then I put my face to it. So if I ever see somebody in real life and they can confront me about it or talk to me about it, and then I got to defend what I said, and I got to, right? I'm on the front lines here. So I can't take these motherfuckers hiding behind computers seriously. They're not to be taken seriously, right? It is what it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I will see you next time on Chad Marco YouTube channel. See you guys.